Okay, guys. So I am so excited to start this Zoom with all of you rock stars. You have all earned this. You worked really hard to earn this Zoom. And for those of you who don't know Melody's story, she's the first ambassador ever in the entire history of It Works Global. And we are actually in her downline. So although Stacy's our first in line ambassador, above her is Melody. And so I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out and doing this for my team and I. We're just so excited to hear your story. So if you can just share it with us, and then I ask them for some questions, and I'll just ask those for you. And we're just so excited to hear what you have to say.
Oh, thanks, Ilana. I am so excited to be here. And first of all, I just want to say congratulations to you guys for earning your spot on this Zoom. And I told Ilana, I'm all prayed up and I'm just ready to share whatever God's got on his heart for y'all. I'm a very spontaneous person. I am not a planned note-taking, follow notes. I mean, I fly by the seat of my pants and I just go with what I'm feeling. And, I've been with this company now in June, it'll be 14 years, but my history in network marketing started 15 years prior to that. So I've been in network marketing for 29 years. And I will tell you, the first 15 years was a total change from who Blair and I were. My husband, Blair, our first networking company, we were 34 years old when we joined that company. We were young, we were raising 4 kids, and we just knew network marketing was the way we were going to create wealth. I mean, we saw the vision and we caught on fire and we got so excited about running for our dream. And wow, we never made any money in those 15 years, but boy, did we become different people. I mean, we got introduced to personal development, reading some good books. We listened to cassette tapes in our car. We were a rolling personal development university in our car. And even though we didn't really make the money that we were hoping to make, we still believed that network marketing was the way to create wealth for people such as Blair and I, I barely did 1 year of college and he just graduated high school. And, I didn't want to get into a career. There was nothing that inspired me or excited me or made me want to go work a job all my life. I figured that there was more to life than just working a job. Now, what it was, I didn't know. But Blair and I both just knew there had to be more. And we got introduced to network marketing. And so, when we got introduced to this, after 15 years, you guys, we just knew there had to be the right company at the right time with the right products, with the right marketing plan. Timing is everything. And I really wasn't looking for anything. I had decided that I was in a very pink cosmetic company at the time and was working towards that career path. I was working my way up the ladder there and had decided that was going to be our ticket. And Blair continued to work his construction business. He was in construction, and he had decided that, all right, you go do that pink thing. I'm going to take the skills and the things that I learned while being exposed to personal development, and I'm going to grow my construction company. And he was doing really, really well. And so I wasn't looking, but I had a friend call me and tell me she was going to go to a wrap party. And I'm thinking gift wrap and greeting cards, And I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. And she goes, no, it's a body wrap. And I'm like, oh yeah. I said, don't get your hopes up. And then I was like, how in the world? I couldn't imagine. The only wrap I'd ever had was like when you wrap up like a mummy, in a spa. And I couldn't imagine going to a wrap party where people were going to get wrapped. I'm picturing in my mind they're laying on the floor or on in a chair, all wrapped up like a mummy, and just waiting. Everybody just waiting. Maybe they'd have some real cool music or something. That's what I thought she was talking about. And she said it was only $20. Now we're talking 14 years ago, and I was like, oh, now I know it doesn't work. I said, nothing. I mean, those things cost at least $100. So $20, I don't believe it. She said, well, I'm going to check it out. I'll let you know. So the next day she called me. She goes, that thing really worked. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just water loss. It's going to come right back. And she goes, no, they explained it was not water loss. And I'm like, how? She goes, I don't know. And I said, well, give me that girl's number. I'm calling her. Now, I called this girl. I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I really wasn't. I already was in my opportunity, but I was so curious about this wrap. So I called this girl, and she was telling me, and back then, y'all, we were so under the radar. We could talk all about the science. There is science behind that wrap. If you don't know, there is a lot of science behind it. It is not just some rinky-dink product. It's a phenomenal product. And so she started explaining it to me, and I thought, well, that sounds plausible. I believe it. All right, so I went and got a wrap, and I brought it home, and I called my friend Vicky, and I said, hey, come put this thing on me. You know what to do. It was in a little square package. I didn't know what to do with it. So she came over, she put it on me. 45 minutes later, boom, I lost 4.5 inches. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is amazing. So then I called the girl back and I said, I need to come get another wrap. And so I went and I got one, and I just knew after 15 years in network marketing that if this worked for Blair, then I was onto something. And that was what was going through my mind was I didn't care about that pink company. I was mentally already out of it. Okay. Immediately out of it. If it worked for Blair, I was going to run with that. And so sure enough, I had to chase Blair around the house, bless his heart. I didn't even give him a chance when he got home all hot and sweaty from work. He was nasty and dirty. It was in the summer, in the end of June. And I didn't even give him a chance to get cleaned up or anything. I just met him at the door, and I was like, hey, I need you to do something for me. I found this product and it really works for me, and I want you to try it. And if it works for you, then I'm really onto something with it. And he's like, whoa, 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 what is it? So I said, it's a body wrap. And he goes, I ain't doing that. And he took off. He just started up the stairs. And I literally, you guys, I chased him around the house, and I was going, you just got to try it. Just try it. It's not like wrapping up like a mummy. I promise. It's just going to put it on your belly. And so he finally agreed to do it. Well, guess what? He got better results than I did. He lost 5.5 inches with one wrap. So I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, maybe you are onto something. And I called that girl back and I said, hey, I want to do one of those wrap parties. And so I emailed 15 of my friends, 15. And I was like, hey girl, you guys, I'm having this wrap party. You need to come, bring $20, and we're going to wrap your fat. This thing really does work. Oh my gosh. And so everybody responded. They're like, really? Does it really work? I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, I'll be there. Out of the 15 people, 12 came. The other 3 called and said they couldn't get there, but they wanted me to get a wrap for them and they would pay me. And I was like, whoa, anything that we had ever done in network marketing, we never had response like that. Nobody wanted what we had. In fact, these were people that pretty much said, hey, we love you, but we don't want to buy another product from you. We don't want to go to another meeting. We don't want to hear about an opportunity, nothing. We don't want anything like that. And these were the ones that came to my house, and they're waving their $20 bills, and they're like, wrap my fat, baby. And it was so much fun, you guys. Everybody lost inches that night. And I wasn't even signed up yet, but they were all ready to sign up as customers. I had 3 that wanted to be a distributor, 9 that wanted to be customers, and it was crazy. So I signed up that night, and I never, ever looked back at that pink company. I was a senior director in that pink company. And, I still wasn't making the kind of money I thought I should for all the work I put in. But I had $20 bills laying all over the table, you know, and Blair, I'd sent him out to go get pizza and Cokes for refreshments on a wrap party where we're trying to lose inches. And he comes in and he saw the money on the table. And as he was going up the stairs, we were down in the basement. As he's going up the stairs, he's looking at me like, yeah, he saw the money. And so, you guys, I didn't know what I was doing. I was ignorance on fire. My sponsor, she hadn't been in long. She didn't know what a loyal customer was, really and truly. She thought they had to pay a $35 fee and get on an $80 a month auto ship. Actually, it was a distributorship. And we didn't know that. And we were signing up loyal customers with a $35 fee and making them get on an $80 auto ship. 80 BV auto ship. And I did that for like the first 3 months. That's how I signed customers up, was $35 and an 80 BV auto ship at least. I was making money hand over fist, you guys. I wrapped so many people in my first 2 years that I bought and paid cash for a car in 2 years' time with my wrap cash. Craziest thing ever. And that wrap hasn't changed, y'all. I mean, I'm excited that we've got the keto line and everything, but the wrap is still powerful. And I think social media has kind of taken the attention away from the power of that wrap, because most people are working behind their computer screen or their phone screen, and they're not actually out physically talking to people and physically putting that wrap on people. Because if they were, you guys would be crazy about that wrap. If you were seeing person after person after person after person losing inches, all the time. It was the most amazing, craziest thing I'd ever been a part of. And we didn't have social media. It took me 4.5 years to get to ambassador. But I was the company's first triple, first presidential, and first ambassador. And if y'all knew me, you would be like, oh, no way. Because I'm not a techie person. I am not a task-oriented person. I am not this is what you got to do, this with list. No, I don't do any of that. I just love the products and I love talking to people. And that built me all the way to ambassador, Then social media came along, and that's a totally different ballgame, you guys. Totally different ballgame from what I had experienced. Now you guys are doing what it took me 4.5 years to do. You're doing it in, 1 to 2 years. And you guys have got the whole world at your fingertips. So now I'm trying to learn social media. But even if there's some of you on here that are not, if you're not building on social, you can still so do it outside of social media. Don't think that you have to have social media in order to be successful. You don't. But if you know how to do it and that's your thing, keep doing it. Don't change what you're doing if it's working. Keep doing what you do. This is your business. You do you. Take advice from people that have the fruit on the tree. Don't just follow anybody. Really check and see the fruit on their tree. And if that's somebody that you relate to, then follow them and all. And don't be afraid to ask people for guidance and help. And you guys got Alana and Stacy as your upline. Y'all have an amazing upline with these girls. They're on fire. And, all you have to do is be coachable and teachable and just hang in there. Give yourself the chance to succeed. This isn't going to happen overnight. I'm sorry to say, it's not going to happen overnight. And it's really not going to happen until you are confident that you can do this. You might accidentally stumble into somebody that is going to take it and run with it. And thank God, because I did. I figured it out a long time ago, y'all. And now hear me on this. I figured it out a long time ago. You don't have to do it all. And you don't have to be the smartest one in the box of crayons. You don't have to be the sharpest one. You just got to be good at finding some people. Talk to everybody. You don't know who you talk to could be your next rock star. But if you don't talk to anybody, how are you ever going to know? So you got to get your confidence up enough that you continue to ask and ask and ask and ask, because then you're going to find an Alana. It's going to pop up out of there. And now she's going to have skills and talents that you don't, that is going to take and explode your business. And you keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. Then you're going to find somebody that's like Stacey Holwiger. And now you got 2 rock stars on your team. And you find one more, you can go all the way to the top of the pay plan. You guys, you're talking about 3 quality people. Pam Souter has always said, 3 will make you millions. 3 good people will make you millions, because it's not just up to you. And those 3 are going to find their 3 who find their 3 and find their 3. So, the odds are in your favor that you're going to find the right people if you don't give up and you don't, you're going to get discouraged. I can just promise you that. And it's okay to get discouraged. Just don't stay there. Do what you have to do. Listen to, get online and listen to something uplifting and positive. Put on some good music, or go to your upline and say, I'm just having a crap day. Help me. Get with somebody who can give you a perspective and help turn you around. Because if you stay and you wallow in the mire and the muck, you're not going to be finding those quality people that you need to find. And every time you get knocked down, okay, every time you get knocked down, you just got to know you're that much closer to your good yes, okay, a good one. God's just waiting to see if you're going to hang in there. If you're going to quit at the first sign of adversity, then I have to look at it like, well, you're not worthy of this responsibility. Because this is a responsibility. As soon as you sponsor one person, now you got somebody following you. And it's not your responsibility to make them successful, but it is your responsibility to make sure they get the right information. So, you got to keep knowing that you're going to find the right people. And you love everybody. Okay, love everybody. Please do not discount somebody just because they're not your rock star yet. Some people just have to marinate a little bit, what I call marinating. They need to get that belief. They need to get that confidence. They need to know that it's okay to fall as long as they get back up. They got to read a few more books. They got to get a little bit of success under their belt. And they will grow into it. They could be your 3rd leg down the road that gets you to ambassador. You never know.
Can I just say that that's how I went presidential? I had a canceled leg. Everybody quit, was gone, done from when I went double. You're talking to over a year and a half's worth of work I did back then. And one girl came back. She renewed. She was over a year, almost at a year and her 90-day mark. And she called, renewed, and then told me. And I'm thinking, gosh, why didn't you tell me I could re-sign you up? You were past your year. And she turned out to be in a dead leg. And she was my 3rd diamond for Prez last month.
Whoa. That's powerful.
Goosebumps.
I'm telling you, you guys, you never know where it's going to come from. You just never know. So, along the way, I had tons of adversity, you guys. I mean, I had a lot of loss. I lost a sister when I was going triple, lost my dad as I'm going presidential, and my nephew on the same day. I had an uncle as I'm going ambassador, my favorite uncle in the world. And then my nephew, my brother's only child, he was 33. Both of them died on the same day. And I'm going ambassador. It was October the 25th, 2009. And I'm trying to go ambassador by the end of October of 2009. And, you know, I had a lot of reason to just go into a deep, dark pit somewhere. But I realized the bigger picture. And it was my sister, my little sister, that died of lung cancer. She got diagnosed in January of 2007. Mark had just called all doubles, or all diamonds and above, all 7 of us. Okay, this was January 2007. He called us all to come to Greensboro, North Carolina. There were 7 of us, 5 doubles and 2 diamonds. And we met with Mark in a restaurant, in a little back room in a restaurant. And he introduced the cab bonuses, or the diamond bonuses, and said the first one to go triple is going to get an all expense paid trip to Cancun or Jamaica, your choice. And I just knew, I punched Blair. I said, that's me. We're going to do this. And I got home from that trip so excited, and found out my sister had been diagnosed with lung cancer. And her prognosis was not good. In fact, the doctor thought maybe she'd only have like 6 months to live. And I immediately just wanted to stay with her. I didn't want to continue to build, because back then we didn't have social media. So if I needed to go launch somebody, I drove there or I flew there. If I'm doing wrap parties, I mean, we were out, we were on the go all the time, traveling, going, building our businesses all over the United States. You know, here today, you guys can just build it from your phone. You don't have to even leave your house. But back then we had to leave the house. And so I wanted to spend every spare moment that I had with my sister, because I knew she didn't have long. And she was the one that looked at me and she goes, and I told her that's what I was going to do. I talked to Blair and he said, honey, you do whatever you need to do. And I told my sister, look, I'm going to put my business on the back burner. I just want to spend time with you. I want to help you. I want to be here for you. And she looked at me and she goes, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm not kidding. And she said, don't you realize? She goes, look, you have finally come into what God's plan for your life has been all about. This is your purpose. And I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh. It's like the reality just hit me. She goes, look at all these people. Look at all these people that you have opened a door to their freedom. And look at these people. They're looking to you for leadership. They're looking for you to be there to help them. And she goes, I'll be darned if I'm going to be the one that keeps you from that. So this ain't about me and you. She said, this is God's plan for your life. This is the reason you were born. And I was like, whoa, I think you're right. So she pushed me out the door and I went, and that was January. By the end of March, I was triple diamond, and she died a week later. And I had a show booked and everything. I didn't want to go, but then I kept hearing her saying, it's not about me and you. This is about God's plan for your life. This is what you were born to do. And I realize, and I look at all the people's lives that have been impacted. Thousands and thousands and thousands. I even went back. Chad Caneller, he's so good. He's so green, y'all. He's so green. He showed me how you could go back from the minute you started your business to see how many people have come into your organization, customers and distributors. And at that time, 944,773 people had come into my business. Almost 1 million people in 13 and a half years. And I look at that and I said, what would have happened if I hadn't continued on? You know, and that's what I want you to realize. This isn't about you. Okay. I mean, you get into this, you're ready to make some money. You're, you only see what you need out of this, usually in the beginning. And then little by little, you start to see that, wow, there's a whole lot more to this than I first thought. And wow, look at the people's lives being impacted, you know. And as soon as you really realize that you were not in this by accident. I promise you, you're not. You were picked. God picked you for his plan and his purpose. And the thing is we have free will, and we can decide what we're going to do with that. But you're not here by accident. And I don't know if that is, if you can really grasp that right now, but I really want you to keep that in the back of your mind somewhere, that this is so much more than just a business. This is life affecting, kingdom affecting work you're doing. Because look at people's lives. The minute they see their future and they see hope, and you open that door, you were the one that opened that door. Maybe you were the only person that was going to open that door for them. So that's how you need to look at this. Okay. You need to look at this in the big picture, not just how it's impacting you and affecting you. Yes, it's going to do that. And you're going to get anything and everything you ever wanted out of life. But only if you help enough people, Zig Ziglar says. Help them get anything and everything they want out of life, and you'll have anything you want out of life. So you have to take your eyes off you, and you really do have to put it on people and love them where they are. You're going to run with your runners, and you're going to love on the other ones that aren't ready just yet. And my motto is do everything that you do out of a motive of love. Not what are these people going to do for me? Not what is this going to impact my personal business, or, am I wasting my time over here or over there or whatever? God gives you enough. Blair said one time, how many people can you fit in your heart? You can fit a lot of people in your heart. So he's going to give you the grace and it doesn't take but 1 minute or a second to say, hey, just thinking about you, just want you to know, if you need anything, just let me know. To somebody who's not really your rock star, but yet they're showing up. They're on auto ship. They're going to the meetings, or they're on the Zooms, but they're just not ready yet to be out there just knocking it out of the park. But they're still there. So all they need is a little bit of love from you, just a little bit. And that'll keep them coming back more. They're going to hang in there. They're going to continue to order products. And, as they're growing, then one day they're going to realize, I can do this. I got this. And boom, then they're going to explode, and they are going to be a rock star. But what if you say, I ain't got time for them. They're not making me any money. They're not doing anything. They haven't even gone executive yet. But yet they're on the calls, or they're on the Zooms, and they're on their auto ship. They're showing up at events. Hey, they just need to know that you care and you value them. And if you can do that, if you can get really good at that, you will have people who are loyal to you. Not because of who you are, but how you made them feel. So anyhow, I don't know, Ilana, I know you got some questions, so.
Oh my God, that is so good. So, so good. And it's so true. I have personally experienced that, because it's, especially if you're just red, you're going, and it's really easy to think boxes and this and that. And these are human beings. I had this conversation the other night on a different Zoom last night. And it's so true. You have to love and care about people. And I'm so glad that you said that. That's so perfect. You're so perfect. So, okay, so I have a few questions for you. Okay. So, how do you work your business as far as are you very scheduled? Do you just flow around your daily life? How do you work your business on a daily basis?
Okay, so I'm blue and yellow is my secondary. We're not worker bees at all. I mean, we'll work when it's fun. when we're having a good time, we're going to work. Schedule, I don't even know what that word means. Unfortunately, I'm not a scheduled person, and it drives my daughter nuts because she is very green, and thank God she does all those things for me. She's my assistant. I pay her well, and I'm able to keep her out of corporate America. She does all those green scheduled things for me and does all of that. I am, like I said, a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. Now, I do use my calendar because if not, I would forget everything that I'm supposed to be doing. So if I have specific, appointments or whatever, they're in my calendar. But I don't, when I go to bed at night, if there's certain things I have to get done the next day, I write those down. I do that because if not, I won't get anything done. But I do those top 6 things, my 6 list or whatever, that I have to get done. And then based on whatever I know I have scheduled in the day is how I make that list. So, but I am so, it's so unplanned and unscheduled, y'all. I don't even know how I'm so successful. I really don't. I mean, I marvel at people who have systems in place and who have, they get up ready to conquer the day and they get their makeup on and, no, I can stay in my pajamas all day long and not really know what my day is going to hold until the day's over. And I'll look back on the day and go, wow, that was either a crap day and I didn't do nothing, or I was really productive that day. I'm just being totally honest, y'all.
Yeah.
And so if does it mean that that's okay to be that way? Probably not, but I've got that enough yellow in me that I'm so, I don't know. I don't want to say undisciplined because I'm disciplined or I wouldn't be where I am, but I'm not as disciplined as a lot of people are. Let's just
Okay.
put it that way. Okay.
Yeah. I don't make systems and schedules either, but I do book, like I write, like if someone wants me to call them at 12, I write that down. If I have an event, I write that down. But as far as like scheduled time, I've never done that either.
Yeah.
And then there's people that do. It's what
Yeah.
works for you.
Well, and if the question is getting around to how are you building your business today,
Mm-hmm.
then all right. So then if that, um, I'm not a social media girl. I can go days and not even make a post, y'all. That is an intentional thing. I have to think to make a post. I can go 2 days and realize, oh my gosh, I haven't even made a post. I got to do that. It just doesn't come natural to me. But I am, what I do today is not what I did to get me to ambassador.
I think a lot of the girls on here, just from going through as I wrote all these questions down, so a lot of them do social media, but it seems to me like they're interested in how you build belly to belly because I think it's so foreign to them. Like I think they're all willing to get out there.
All right.
So shoot us with that step because a lot of these
Okay.
questions are similar. Like, how did you build when you started? What do you say to people when you're in front of them? How do you blitz? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, so it is all about people, you guys. It's about being willing to just be real and to not be afraid when you hear that little voice in your head that says, talk to that person. You gotta, and the way I do that, and again, with my yellow personality, it's just enough. It's my secondary. I can be really outgoing, but there's times when I'm not outgoing and I'm a little bit more reserved. And so it can be very intimidating to just walk up to somebody. So I don't just walk up to somebody. I try to find a reason to start a conversation, whether it be, oh, what a cute baby you have, or oh my gosh, girl, I love your shoes, or wow, I love your handbag, or I love your hairstyle. A genuine compliment to get them to talk. Again, wearing my coffee shirts, my keto shirts, and that usually will start a conversation. People will say, oh my gosh, do you do keto? And I'll say, yes, oh wow, I actually sell this keto products, and so um, always being ready like that, wearing something that will attract attention. Tina Hatcliffe and I, we made up a bunch of shirts at one time that just said, "Ask me how." That's it. Just says, "Ask me how" on the front, and so people will go, "Okay, how?" And then we would turn around, and on the back, this is no lie, y'all, the shirt said, "Get your sexy back." So we say, "Ask me how." And they'll go, "How?" And we turn around and go, "Get your sexy back." And then we're like, "What does that mean?" And so then we would talk to them about the wraps and all. But now we've got "Ask me how to lose inches drinking or to get skinny drinking coffee." Ask me how to tighten, tone, and firm, or whatever. Just get the conversation going. And people are we're losing the art of communication. People are afraid to talk to people out in the real world. They'll talk to you and be your best friend on social media all day long and act like they just adore you. And then you see them in person and they don't even speak to you. I mean, it's the weirdest thing ever. I find that to be true. So always have some cards with you. I just had some business cards made with keto coffee and some of the keto stuff, just little, just something that I can hand to somebody when I'm talking to them, but then I always get their number. So usually I'm doing a drawing. Oh my goodness, I'm doing a drawing. If you fill this out, I'll put you in my drawing this week. I'm going to be giving away some of this keto coffee. That's how I get their information. So I always carry these little information sheets that has put their name, their email, their phone number, and have them fill that out. And so if we've really had a good rapport and we really had a good conversation, then guess what? They're a winner. So they're going to get called and they're going to win. And it could be just a few of the packs of coffee. I'm not necessarily giving away a whole bag of coffee, but I want to be able to get with that person again. And I'm not going to send them to them. I'm going to make an appointment and get with them in person. Meet at a Starbucks or a Panera Bread or wherever. Meet them in a public place and have that opportunity to get to know them. And so that's how I do today. I still am very much, looking at my surroundings, seeing, who can I talk to? And I always pray before I go out, because a lot of times I'll go out with the intention that I want to meet some people today, but I'm going to go shopping. But I'm going to meet some people today, And then there's some days I'm just going to go shopping and I ain't going to meet anybody today, But on those days that I'm intentional, I'm going to meet somebody, then I definitely make sure I've got my gear on, that I've got something that's going to attract somebody's attention, especially the keto stuff, or ask me how, or whatever, something. You could wear a button. You could get a button made that says, "Ask me how." And people say, what is that? Ask me how. How what? You say, "Oh, how you can lose weight and feel great with my keto coffee." I mean, just get creative. Don't be afraid of what people are thinking about you, because guess what? They're not thinking anything about you, really and truly. They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. So
that's so true.
yeah, you just have to open your mouth.
Yeah, just ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. I just saw one. Some of them you've kind of answered already. So somebody asked, has there ever been a time where everything fell apart and you had to start fresh? How do you, go from that discouraging time? How do you pull yourself up out of that and keep going, and pull along people with you that are also feeling that way?
Okay, so perfect example, you guys. 2017 was a crap year. I'm going to be honest. It was a crappy year. I lost a lot of people that left and went to other companies. People that, were my best friends. before it works, before we were ever in business together. They were some of my best friends, and they left. And it wasn't so much that they left that upset me. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed that they were going to go do something else, but I want them to be successful. And if it's not in it works, then, you know, I, if their heart's not in it, they don't need to be there. But what I didn't like was that they were trying to steal everybody along with them. And that was very, very hurtful. And we lost a lot of people. And it was very discouraging. And a lot of my team lost a lot of their team. And so what got us through that was knowing that we were in the right place, that we still had a viable business, and that we had to get the people. I mean, everybody who stayed still believed in what we were doing. So that's where it's so important that you get that belief deep, deep, deep down inside of you, so that when that kind of storm comes, that it might shake your tree a little bit, but it's not going to knock you over and completely uproot you. And so that's where confidence comes in. That's where knowing that you know that you know that you are where you're supposed to be, that you are with the company that, I mean, I had to really tell the team, you guys, I know Mark. At that point, it was 10, 11 years, 12 years that I've known Mark and Cindy. And I knew that this was just for a season. It was not going to be a permanent thing. And, look where we are now. I mean, we're exploding right now. So, you're going to have times where something just comes and just hits you across the knees and brings you to your knees. And that's just part of life. And, when you think about it, how would you know how good the mountaintop is if you didn't ever have the valley experiences? If it all just worked and you were, up on that mountaintop all the time without all the struggle, you wouldn't appreciate it so much. And all. So as bad as it is when you're going through it, it's actually going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a stronger person. You're going to be a more relatable person, because God is grooming you for leadership. I mean, he is really seeing how you are in times like that. And that's where you've got to get into whatever it is that encourages you, whether it be, putting on, some really good music or whatever that just fires your soul up, or whether it's something that you listen to, a podcast or, I love going online to YouTube and listening to people like Jim Rohn and John Maxwell and Les Brown, just going in there and listening to these people that I cut my teeth on, so to speak, in my early years in network marketing, and realizing that this too shall pass. Always remember that. This too shall pass. And we're going to look back on it and we're going to say, you know what? I thought I was at the worst. I thought I was going to just lose it all. I thought it was all going to fall apart. But you know what? It was actually a good thing. And you look back on that and you see the good that came out of that time when you were floundering around and realizing that, we're all going to be disappointed. We're all going to have times of struggle. Nobody's got a free ticket. Trust me on that. Nobody is not going to. If up to this point they've had no struggle whatsoever, and you look at them and you think, wow, they're lucky. Well, we don't know what happened prior to them getting into it works. We don't know what's down the road for them. But I can promise you, if God's going to use you, he's going to bring you to your knees, so that you can realize that it's not about you, that this is about God using you as a vessel. And so he will use people like me and you. And you look at it and you go, me? I mean, me? Really? Who am I? but I'm willing, to be that voice or be that vessel of helping people to change their lives. Because that's what we do, you guys. We're helping people change their lives. And along the way, we're going to make some money, and we're going to make a lot of money doing that. But you got to get the right perspective. This is a people business. People are going to disappoint, but they're also going to reward. And it's the rewards that you got to look at, that smile on that person's face, the light that comes on in their eyes, to, see them being able to pay off their debt, to watch them being able to buy their first house. Just knowing that you had that small, little, tiny opening, that door, because you opened that little door, that door got opened by somebody else, by somebody else, by somebody else, and it impacted it's that ripple effect. So get your head out of right here, right now, it works or whatever, and look at, wow, this is big. This is huge. This is life stuff. Can you imagine? I mean, really and truly, can you imagine when your day on earth is done and you go stand before your maker and he goes, wow, what I gave you, you did so good with it. You did so good. Yeah, you might have missed a few here and there, but really and truly, you really did a good job. Good and faithful servant. Or if I go stand beside him, he goes, in front of him, he goes, wow, I'm so disappointed. I mean, yeah, you led a good life and everything, but there was so much more I had for you. And you just weren't open. You just weren't willing to impact other people. I'm a little disappointed. Can you imagine? That would just kill me. I want him to say, you did good, girl. You did good. And so, I don't know. I just look at it a little bit differently.
I love it. It's so true. It's literally it's so true. If you didn't say yes 13 years ago, we might not be on this Zoom today. And that's massive, you guys. Massive. And you don't think that big in the beginning. I didn't think that big in the beginning. But man, I had somebody say to me the other day, like, how did it feel, going presidential, this and that? And it was the most different promotion I've ever had in my life. Okay. And I already knew.
Your pig in the toilet.
Okay.
Oh.
Why are you doing pig?
Go lay down. Go lay down. All right. So go. So my point is, I got more choked up about Kelsey going triple, right, and Caitlin going double, and all the diamonds. And I thought to myself in my own bedroom at nighttime, I was like, man, because I talk to all you guys all the time, and you're like, oh, I just want these workers, and oh, I just want this, but yet you're promoting, you're still making it happen. And I sit in this room, in this house that I wouldn't even have if it wasn't for this business, and I'm like, I used to be that person. I used to go through that. Like she says, those valleys make you relatable. Those valleys make you a good leader. And if I gave up, none of you might even be on this Zoom. Just like if she gave up, I wouldn't be on this Zoom, or Stacy wouldn't have brought, the person in who enrolled me, and go over there, babes, and all that other stuff. And so those moments, they either make you or they break you. And so let them make you, because what it's going to create is something that you can't even wrap your head around right now until you're already kind of like shot into the future and in it, like how I sit here now and I'm like, holy crap, like this is real, look at all these lives I've changed, and you're doing the same thing right now, whether you have one person on your team, whether you have 20 people on your team, you are literally changing like just so much for so many people, so always think about that, even in your hard times. And if that doesn't motivate you, then I don't know what will, but that is some truth.
Yeah. So true.
Okay, so I have one last question really quick, and that's it. So how do you get people to book a wrap party?
I'm doing it online.
Okay.
So I tell them, let's set the date. you're gonna share a link that I'm gonna give you a link, and you just get your girlfriends to get a glass of wine or whatever and sit down in front of their computer at Thursday night at 7 o'clock and just tell them that we're gonna take maybe 30, maybe 45 minutes, but less than an hour for sure, and learn about some awesome products.
So you're doing virtuals, like
Yes.
having them get their friends together and doing little virtuals with them. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And it's easy to do. I pull a few of the products and I just, set it up here and I'd say, okay, this is Thermophyte X. Let me tell you a little bit about that. And here's keto coffee and here's ketones. And oh my gosh, you got to try keto energy. And so I'm excited about the products. And then at the end, I just tell them that if they want to buy, then the person that invited them is going to get some credit. If it was a hostess or somebody that's not in the business, then, that they're going to earn some free products. So y'all make sure and buy plenty of stuff for her. She's your friend, and I'm just going to plant those seeds. But then I also talk a little bit about the opportunity. I'm not beating them over the head with it. I just say, and if you're ever looking at a way to make some money, I would love to talk with you. This is so much fun, and you can virtually work your business anywhere from your phone. And I tell them just a little bit about the company, how old it is, and, that, it is a good opportunity. And so those are pretty quick, and I get customers out of that. And then especially doing some launch parties, I'll do launch parties that way. So as if somebody's out of my area. Now, if they're close to me and they're local, I'm physically going, even if we sit in their house and do it live. So, but it's just a matter of just doing it. So making it fun, making it easy, making it that, you're just doing this in front of their computer. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know I learned some things, and we all appreciate it so much. So thank you. And we're going to go crush the rest of what's left of this month. We got big.
You guys go out there and make it happen. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.